worked for me, and my anxiety symptoms came under control. But Mo was still not talking. And while his therapies were continuing in Singapore, there was an interesting thing that happened during one of my visits to Pakistan. Family recommended that I see a family friend who dealt with supernatural stuff. Just to give you a little bit of context, so as a Muslim, we believe in the supernatural beings that are referred to as Jinns. And we also believe that there are other beings that exist apart from us, just humans that we cannot see or interact with. Anyway, I was meet one of these people, and he came and he read some prayers around Mo, and he said that there were some beings that were possessing him, and therefore he couldn't talk, and so on and so forth. And then paired with Moise's lying down behaviors and him saying though he's possessed, it kind of created that almost like a situation, a believable situation, especially when culturally you're also kind of attuned to or open to these ideas. So I went along for quite some time, I would say maybe even a period of a year or so, trying to investigate possibility that maybe there was something or someone or some being was influencing Moise. The thing is that as a parent of a child with any kind of challenges, there is always that hope that, oh, I wish this would work and I wish that would work. And the danger is that you can fall into a trap that can just pull you in deeper and deeper. I think the smart thing that I did was that I never stopped the evidence-based therapies with Moise. That was a process that continued while back in Pakistan we were still sort of keeping in touch with this guy who claimed that we should do this and this, like making him drink water which had prayers read on it and stuff like that. After some time I decided that let's just focus on the therapy, and that chapter was over. But then another development happened in my life, which basically came out of nowhere. So Usman, my husband, he, on an earlier trip to Pakistan, he had gone to visit an old acquaintance of my mother-in-law's, who was a pious person, a very humble and pious person who had published some books and some other literature on Islam. So Usman came back to Singapore and he told me that he had met this uncle in Lahore, and that he had the uncle had given him some stuff to read and had assured him that his Mo would start talking within a year or so of him reading certain prayers. And I said, okay, go ahead, read those prayers then, and then I just left it at that. So on my next trip to Pakistan, for some reason, out of nowhere, I just felt this compulsion to go and meet this uncle. And I call him Uncle Noor. And from that day onwards, which was a good, 15, 16 years ago, to this day, I'm very much connected with Uncle Noor. He is my spiritual guide. I speak to him regularly. I meet him on all my trips to Lahore. He taught me some very important things. Before meeting him, I used to believe that I was, close to God. As far back as I can remember, even as a child, I think under 10, I used to have conversations with God. And it's something that, came to me naturally. I was always a practicing Muslim, so saying my prayers, 5-time prayers and all of that. But what Uncle Nu taught me was to be grateful in the true sense of the word, not just to say it as lip service, but actually to feel it in your heart. And when he, you know, told me this over our many conversations, through the years, it's not something that, it comes to you immediately. It came through practice. I mean, I read regularly what he had given me, ayat from the Quran, and also to kind of sit back and really reflect on the purpose of life and our existence. And I honestly and truly believe that Allah gave me more because He wanted to open this path to me. And for me to go and meet Uncle when I did was an opportunity that God provided me to move along that path.